Get so flippin' cozy right now because we are going to have a writing vlog. Welcome to a video, a cozy writing vlog. I am going to spend my mornings writing this week because I feel like I've said this every single video, but life is very crazy right now. I'm currently in school studying to be a library technician, and I'm in an intensive program, and these next 3 weeks is a massive crunch where I have a ton of classes, a ton of assignments due, just a lot to get me through to the end of this summer. And then I have a nice little break, and then I'm back at school in September, and it's supposed to be a much easier pace. So we shall see. However, all this to say, I am spending my mornings writing. I want to spend at least 1 hour every single morning this week writing. What am I writing? I'm currently working on an atmospheric horror book. I am calling it The Haunted Project, and I'm having such a good time with it. Actually, really exciting. I just crossed over the 10K mark. I'm at around 11K, which is so good. It just feels amazing. It's actually crazy. I feel like it just really flew by. I was not thinking I was that far into this project, but it has just been such a wonderful experience to write. This week, though, I am probably not going to do a whole lot of active writing because what I really want to do is reread it and rework it, really to just get a feel for what I've written so far. I'm such a fast writer that I find that sometimes I can just fly through working and then realize I've written 10K of a story and haven't actually gone back and edited it to make sure that it's tight and clear and all of that jazz. There's a couple things that I'm really stressed about this week, including a couple tests that I have to prepare for that I feel like I'm not prepared for, and that is weighing on my mind. But I am using this work in progress, this haunted project, to really just get out all of the anxiety. And so much of what I do when I sit down to write every day is ask myself what I'm feeling and what I want this scene to feel like. It probably makes for a pretty chaotic story, to be honest. I'm very curious to go back and reread it and just see how I feel. That being said, this morning I did get through the first scene, and I did actually add a couple elements. I deleted some things. Frankly, the very ending of the first scene was like incoherent descriptions. So I went back and I just made it coherent because I don't know what happened to Megan's brain there. I made it coherent. I made it good. I try not to get ahead of myself when I write, but with this particular story, I'm so excited for that first draft to be done and to go back and change it and see what the story actually becomes. Because while I have all of the ideas in my head, through writing, I often figure out voices and descriptions and the things for me that really make stories come alive. So that's rambly, but I'm just really excited. It is Monday morning and I'm gonna tackle this week and you're gonna come along with me. So get cozy. Hello, it's Wednesday. Sorry, Pete. Dear goodness me, I hope you never judge my backgrounds. I'm sure it's just always mess. It's always mess. This is my life. It's just endless piles of clothes. And that closet never shuts because it's just full to the brim of clothes. But hello, hi, it's Wednesday. And let's do a little check-in. So yesterday I had a test, so I went in early to campus to study. I think the test went okay, but the class that it was for is called searching, and it's essentially all about like how to conduct research, not in a theoretical way, literally how to search in various like databases and stuff. And some of it is really interesting, but to be completely blunt, most of it is a little redundant, especially for me and for pretty much everyone who is in the accelerated portion of this program, because in order to be in the accelerated portion of the program, you have to have had a degree. So if you know how to search scholarly journals and things like that, because you have a university level degree, it can be a little redundant. And so sometimes in this class, I get caught up on things because I know more than what we're being taught. So I do things in a way that like I know works, but we haven't been taught that yet. And so much of this program is very much like following the curriculum and making sure that you are answering the question that is posed to you. With this test and with most of the tests in this class, I have no way of knowing how I performed, because you're doing searching and you're getting results and you're answering questions, but it could just be that you like typed one single thing in incorrectly, or you're searching in the wrong database, or who knows what. So I always walk away going, ugh, okay, I hope I did well. And while a lot of the questions yesterday were easier than I anticipated, I still have no idea how I did. So we shall see. Luckily, that teacher is a really fast marker, so I always get those marks back. Once again, though, I'm here to tell you that I'm a little stressed out. Surprise, surprise, because tomorrow I have another test in cataloging, which I feel like my last video I had a test in cataloging, which makes perfect sense because I pretty much get tested every week in these classes. To make matters worse, we only went over the materials that were going to be on the test yesterday, so I only knew what was going on in the test and what I had to study and the kind of things that I had to know yesterday afternoon. So literally today and tomorrow morning to study. So I'm at a point now where I feel like I'm kind of numb to it all, and I'm just trying my best, and I'm just taking it day by day. And you know, I'm lucky because I've always been a good student and school has come very easy to me. So hoping that will just carry me through. We shall see. However, let's talk about something a little bit more fun, because I am still going to do my writing this morning because I need to, for my own mental health. I need to do my hour of writing, and I don't care. I don't care how that makes me look or anything like that, because I need it in order to ground myself before this craziness of studying and having a full day of class and having an assignment due tonight. Thankfully, I've already done it. I am, surprise, surprise, gonna take myself to a coffee shop. I'll stop rambling now and let's go write. Let's go write, and let's try to not spiral too much today and just take one task at a time. Wait, really quickly, side note, I feel like I'm always talking about the weather and I'm always complaining about the weather, but can I just say that the weather right now is so beautiful in Toronto? It's basically fall weather. got my lunch, I got my vitamins, and I'm just on a break in between classes. I've been studying a little bit when I have a break during my class and also during some of the exercises that I don't need to do because a lot of what we're learning right now is about the publishing industry, and I've worked in the publishing industry, so I know quite a bit about it, specifically in Canada. Something that's really been helping me lately to write has been to really take the pressure off myself, which is so funny to say because I feel like every time I say that, I'm like, yeah, that's obviously the lesson here. But I managed to write like 900 words this morning, and I feel like so much of that is wrapped up in me just kind of letting go of the process and not being so strict about where I need to be and at what point I need to finish my manuscript, and even just the idea of sitting down every single day and having to lay down words as opposed to reading and editing and allowing myself the space to play in scenes instead of just focusing on getting the draft done has been really helpful lately. I don't think that's always going to be the case. I think that there's always a balance between forcing yourself to lay down words or doing the slightly more entertaining work of editing, at least it is for me. And a big proponent of that is being in school and just not having the time to focus on it and giving what I can to it when I can and allowing that to be whatever it looks like. But all in all, it just really felt good. And it feels good to let go of this process a little bit. I was really fixated on finishing this draft by the end of this year, and I just had a moment last week looking ahead at this insane schedule. I had a moment last week where I was like, what if you just let that go? What if you just work on what you want to work on when you want to work on it? And again, it feels like a lesson that I've learned over and over again in a number of different ways. And for me this time, it was stop focusing so much on advancing the plot and just work on what you want to work on, which for me right now is editing and fixing up the beginning. That's my PSA of the day. I'm gonna eat my yummy sandwich and study. So just to be super clear, because I was thinking about my verbal update a second ago, and I was talking about how I have taken the pressure off of writing, and the perfect example of that is actually what I did today, which is I sat down and I just let myself write a scene without knowing where the scene was going to end up. It was kind of just like a practice. And so in the scene that I wrote this morning, my character was walking through a cemetery, and honestly, it kind of just started out as like a no plot, just vibes scene. Like it was meandering. I was writing it and I knew in my head, I was like, I don't know where this is going. And then through that process, I realized that she's going to stumble upon something in the graveyard and it's going to reveal more information about her character. And I ultimately came up with the idea of a really great scene. Now, the scene that I wrote this morning, I'm going to have to cut back probably significantly, but still, it was like a nice way to relax into the moment. And I know other writers do this. I know that they sit down and they kind of let themselves free write and then they get to work. And maybe that's kind of what I need to do right now with this project, or maybe that was a version of it. So, to sum up, all of my tests went really well this week. I already got my grades back on the test that I had in searching on Tuesday, and I did so well, and I'm so proud of myself because I studied really hard, so I did deserve it. And then Thursday's test was so much easier than I was anticipating. And it was so great. It was like such a high because, you know, when you over prepare for a test and then it turns out to be much easier. That being said, I did immediately realize I made 2 errors on the test. So I know I didn't get perfect, but that's not surprising. Yesterday's writing session went so well. It went so well. I was riding on such a high. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. It's everything that I've been saying, which is I let myself just chill out when it comes to my writing, and it has helped immensely. It has helped so much. I think I'm embracing the fact that I am a slow writer and that I'm not going to be able to finish a book on some arbitrary deadline that I've set for myself, especially not when I'm in school. It seems obvious, I know, I can't explain it. I'm a perfectionist, I push myself, and I am deeply ambitious, and all of those things are great, but they're also very detrimental to the creative process. So I'm officially letting go of any arbitrary deadline I've given myself, and I'm embracing the fun of writing again, and I'm embracing letting myself do whatever I want to do, and not what I should do or feel like I should do, because to be frank, whatever I should do is whatever I want to do. Is any of this making sense? I hope it's making sense. I only wrote 200 words yesterday, but I finished the scene that I've been working on all week, the graveyard scene that I was talking about, and I think it's great, and I'm really, really proud of myself because in a week where I was just stressed out, I completed something that I'm deeply proud of. Not only that, I had so much fun writing, and writing was truly an escape for me this week. And it didn't look like how I thought it was gonna look because I've been fighting myself so much about going back and rereading. Who would have thought? Probably everyone watching this, that letting go of the pressure of having to advance the plot and keep working so that I can finish this draft and then I'll go back and look at it. Who would have thought letting that go would have actually made this process more fun? Shocking, I know. What a revelation. I'm sorry I can't offer you better writing advice and I'm just showing you my crazy creative process, but I'm embracing it. These videos are for me as much as they are for you. I hope that this freedom carries me through the rest of the draft whenever I complete it. I got 2 really great scenes. I mean, I've got still over 10,000 words, but the 2 scenes that I worked on this week feel strong, and I feel confident in continuing on. The more I work it, the better it's getting, and I'm loving it. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you're staying creative wherever you are. I hope that you have a really great weekend if you're watching this on Saturday morning, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!